karma. It's a lot of things trapped in that book. But you can't leave. See, one of the things, shout out to Karen Hunter, Dr. Greg Cobb, that I have come to understand is, or I believe, I'm saying I come to understand. That's the way I understand. Our community is too literal. We have no room for being ambiguous. There is no room for that with us. We got to stop this linear thinking. We have to be able to think to the left as far as we can see, and to the right as far as we can see, and as we turn, we'll see everything. The reason I'm saying that is that's how you read that book, and that's how you read any other book of knowing. Stop taking it literal. Read the context, and then you'll understand the context that's in the book, or any book. Take what applies to you until you get a better understanding, way of knowing. Shout out to Dr. Greg Carr again. Because when you do that, man, you have a better grasp on what's going on around you. I say these things because how I mean that is, you first and foremost need to learn civics. You need to learn voting is just one stage of this. It's one tool out of your toolbox. You must be engaged in your community. You must stop just talking. You must start doing. I made a friend of mine a promise on the air last week, and I failed him on that promise. If he called in and exposed me as a person who failed a promise, that's up to him. But I didn't call him, and I said I would. So if you hear him on the phone later and he said you ain't called me, that's why. And I welcome that. I failed it. Period. That's it. But we must hold each other's feet to the fire. We must engage civically. We must get our homes together, then get our blocks together, then get our neighborhoods together, and get our districts together, and so forth and so on, then our cities and our states. And that's the only way things are going to work for us. But we sit back and say what somebody did or did not do, and at the same time, we're not engaging. People don't do what you expect, they do what you expect. Thank you too. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sister Rare Beauty. She said great point. Thank you for engaging. Thank you for listening. And again, man, we have to. We have bought into white nationalism because we built this place. So you built a criminal enterprise. Our country. We use terminology that in our personal lives, I usually use a man and a woman situation. But this time, I'm going to use a friend situation. You wouldn't go over your buddy's house and say, man, our house is nice. Or, I'll give you a better example. I got a friend. I'm not going to say his name. We had somebody that we grew up with. We used to hang out at their place a lot. This person asked my friend, my very good friend, my brother, to leave their house in a very disrespectful manner for no other reason but, hey, I got the cool house, you got to get out. My man never went back. And I respect him to no end for that. Oh, man, she just tripping, man. I remember the day that me and my man Drastic was telling her, oh, man, forget her, she just tripping. He was like, man, fuck her. Excuse my language. And to this day, he stands on that. And that's one of the reasons I got mad respect for him, because even as a teen, he realized when I'm not welcome, I'm not going to be there. What the hell do I look like hanging out with this person who just excused me from that place? Now, I learned in that moment, yeah, man, you know, even if I want to say I learned, it was reinforced that day that, hey, you shouldn't be anywhere nobody wants you. And when we say our country, and you got goo gobs of people fighting against that, our police, our this, our that, and these people have consistently said, we don't want you here, that's supporting white nationalism. And it might be people from other cultures who listen to this and say, yo, rap, that's a bit extreme, or homie tripping, or whatever you're saying. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. I'll give y'all another. Here go. This is one of the most interesting statistics I've ever heard in my life. This is one of the most interesting statistics I've ever heard in my life. And I think this is my guest attempting to call me. But before I engage with him, I wanna give y'all this before he calls back. Do you understand that Democratic Party has never won an election? The Democratic Party has never won the white vote in America. Do you understand what I'm saying? Listen to that. The Democratic Party has never won the white vote in America since the 60s. So while people say Donald Trump lost this election by 3 million people, America makes up over 300 million people. That means a tremendous amount of people did say bigotry, misogyny, segregation, xenophobic, homophobic, anti-Semitic. All of that is acceptable. Think about that, y'all. When you got someone saying all of those things that I just mentioned are acceptable and a way of life, that's a comfortable way of living, and that is totally against everything that you are. And they try to cloak it in, hey, that's okay. That's fine with me. That's not it. That's a problem. That's a problem. Listen, I'm letting that sink in. Being xenophobic is not a problem. That's crazy. That's crazy. Crazy as hell. So it's okay to discriminate. It's okay because he's a businessman. And that's the way businessmen think. And you know what? I got my guest about to call in. And if he doesn't be on as long as I anticipate, I have to pick up right where I left off at. I'll pick up right where I left off at. But that's what I want you to understand. When you attempt to play this game, of I'm being the right American now. He's doing it for the business aspect of it, and all that madness. That's when you lose. That's when you lose, because when you're playing a game with a devil, the devil changes the game to fit his needs, not the other way around. You don't fit into his plan; he fits into yours. I mean, you don't fit into he don't fit in your plan. You fit into his. And when you got somebody standing in front of the world, basically reading from Adolf Hitler's playbook, and you supporting them because, well, this dude might be. Well, this dude is. When you telling me somebody may be, you're disregarding what is. And if you're going to disregard what is, then he's not the crazy one. You are. Because he lets you know, hey, man, this is my agenda. I have a white nationalist agenda, and really, you don't fit into it. You do not fit into it. And because you don't fit into it, you won't get any justice. And if you don't get any justice, you continue to lose. And if you continue to lose, so be it. So be it. But, hey, man, that's cool. That's how it's going to go. and that's the way you want to rock. This guy that's coming on, he's an MC, and he speaks about a lot of political things. One of the dopest MCs out here. And we may touch on some of this, but if you listen to his music, his name is Immortal Technique, and you'll put yourself, you'll see why I had him on. Outside of him just being dope and participating in things that I like, but that's just the way it is. But I don't understand these so-called progressive folks from our community that have taken a stance with the other side to show people that you're on top of things. No, you're not. You're a damn fool. You're a damn fool. But for whatever reason, it's been something that's been in our system for a long time, for long periods of time. I'm not gonna get into the mudslinging. You Uncle Tom, you coon, you sell out. You know what you're doing. You know what time it is. And I'm not gonna argue with you about this other stuff. And man, see, this is the problem. And we know what the problem is. Again, like I said last week, man, I don't want to talk about the problem anymore. I want to talk about the solutions. And the solutions are simply we all, according to what you say by listening to this show, what you say by tuning into this show, what you say about being a part of anything that I do, is you want the betterment of our people and good people throughout the universe. If that's the case, then I'm going to need you to come up with some solutions as well as identifying problems. Being one of the silliest guys in the history of the earth, it may not sound like it when I'm on this show. I understand the need and the want to have jovial interaction. I get it, man. I get it. I like to laugh as much as anybody else. But when you are laughing at the expense of the community, then you lose me. And again, I hate to sound like the watchdog or whatever. I hate to sound like that guy, but that's what it is. That's what it has come to. So when I say that, I'm bringing that up because Vice President Pence and Senator Harris had a debate this week. And I understand the whole fly thing. It was funny. And maybe people ignored what was really going on. Things that this dude Pence was saying. The verbiage that he was using. And they just say, I'm not voting for him no way, so I'm going to laugh at this fly. Okay. That's understandable. But we spent far too much time talking about fly. Then the fact that, for example, he said, when they talked about the alliance between Biden and Harris and Pence and Trump, Biden and Harris said, I will join, Senator Harris said, I will join him. We will do this. Our goal. Pence, on the other hand, said, I will be a good soldier. That means he's taking marching orders. That means he's just a follower. That means, again, he's subscribing to the Adolf Hitler game plan, the playbook that Adolf Hitler wrote out years and years ago. And if y'all don't recognize that, I'm sorry. Thank you. If y'all don't recognize that, I'm sorry. But that's the game plan that you see. You have to be prepared for the worst. Expect the worst. Be prepared for the best and be prepared also if things don't go your way. See, at this point in the game, I personally feel, I understand the coronavirus has thrown a monkey wrench into all of our plans. I get that, man. I get that the coronavirus has ruined your summer, your spring, most of your fall at this point. Exactly. Exactly. Sister Red Beauty say, damn the fly, pay attention to what's going on. And that's honestly